This story began in 2007 in a health clinic in Spain. A young Barcelona star picked up a baby for a charity campaign and, with his own hands, lowered that baby into the holy water. That star's name was Lionel Messi, and the name of the baby in his arms was Lamine Yamal. 19 years later, those two names will meet on the same pitch in a World Cup final. And believe me, if fate had written the script itself, it couldn't have written it better than this. But football knows no sentiment, and I'm going to tell you this. Messi will checkmate the very boy he once blessed, with his own hands, right there on the pitch. First, we need to understand why these two geniuses are so alike, and why that makes them so dangerous. Both left-footed, both the purest form of that asymmetric player who starts on the right wing and cuts inside, into the center. So this isn't really a final at all, it's the collision of two different eras of the same genius. But the similarities end there, because when they step onto the pitch, their two teams use that genius in completely opposite ways. Look at Luis de la Fuente Spain. The entire system is built to open up that lethal 5-meter corridor for Yamal. Right back Pedro Porro overlaps constantly, stretching the flank and dragging the defense outward. Those overlaps create the breathing room Yamal needs, the corridor where he can pull the ball onto his left foot and make that deadly cut toward the middle. France couldn't close that corridor, and France went home. So what will Argentina do? This is where Lionel Scaloni's genius enters the picture. The Argentine staff will not leave that corridor open. Their plan is clear. Pull left back Nicolas Tagliafico inside and set a double-team trap on Yamal alongside the center backs. So the moment Yamal drags the ball onto his left foot to cut inside, he'll find not one, but two, even three Argentines waiting for him. They'll pin him to the touchline, seal off the center, and turn that 5-meter corridor into a wall. But that's not even the decisive part. The real war begins the moment Spain loses the ball, because Spain runs the most aggressive high press of this entire tournament. The instant they lose possession, they win it back in an average of 3.2 seconds. That's a level of pressure very few teams in the world can break. They suffocate opponents, force mistakes, win the ball high up the pitch, and punish you instantly. But this is exactly why Argentina is Spain's worst nightmare. Because Argentina, led by Enzo Fernandez and Rodrigo de Paul, is the coolest team in the world at playing out of pressure. No panic, no long balls, just calm, surgical passes to break the press. And once Argentina breaks that press, where do you think the ball goes? To the man scanning the pitch between the lines, in that half space, completely unmarked, to Lionel Messi. Messi is no longer a player who runs for 90 minutes. He's a player who thinks. He walks across the pitch, watches, waits, and appears in that gap at the exact right moment. The instant Spain's press is beaten and the ball reaches Messi, Spain's entire defensive geometry will collapse. Because Spain plays an extremely high defensive line. Laporte and the young Cubarsi are practically standing in midfield. That's a weapon when the press is working, but it's suicide the moment Messi gets on the ball. Because if you give Messi a single square meter to slide a pass in behind that high line, he punishes you with one touch. He'll drag Laporte and Cubarsi toward him, pull them out of shape, and open up enormous space behind them for Lautaro Martinez. Spain's whole system can crumble from a single moment of Messi's vision. So what about Yamal? Here's the cruelest part of the prophecy. Argentina won't stop Yamal with defending alone. They'll force him to keep running backward, keep tracking back, keep defending. Molina and Tagliafico will overlap down that flank relentlessly, pinning Yamal into his own half. And the attacking energy of a 19-year-old is not limitless. If they make him run in both attack and defense for 90 minutes, that left foot won't have its old sharpness in the final 20. At the exact moment Messi wakes up, Yamal will be running on empty. That's the real story of this match. This is the raw ambition of the blessed boy against the greatest footballing mind the game has ever seen. Yamal brings pace, brings courage, brings the future. But Messi brings intelligence, brings experience, and brings that ice-cold composure that ends everything the moment it arrives. The young genius can win a match with a flash of brilliance, but the old master wins a match in his mind before it even kicks off. And that is why the torch will not be passed in this final. Messi will checkmate the boy he cradled 19 years ago, the boy he blessed with his own hands, using those same hands on the pitch, with one pass, one walk, one moment of genius. Because sometimes it takes a legend to dethrone a legend, and that legend isn't ready yet. So the question is this: will the king protect his throne one last time and complete with his own hands the prophecy he began 19 years ago? We'll see the answer on the pitch, and you do not want to miss it. If you enjoyed this, subscribe. The next one is going to be even better.